right now, start doing something, anything on a consistent basis to make your dreams a reality. My friends, all it takes is a little work each and every day, incremental work. If you will just do it and do it every day, make yourself do it. It's the way I've gotten myself and keep myself in really great shape at 63. I see so many of my friends slowing down, getting heavy, starting to just have all sorts of health issues. And thank the good Lord, I have kept myself in good shape, keeping my mind sharp and my body sharp. The same with trading. If you will spend just a few minutes each and every day dedicating yourself to following these charts, it will reap the same dividends that you get from regular exercise. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are down, everything else is up. That is Bitcoin, gold, and 20-year U.S. government bonds. Gold, again, just a jamming. And, of course, we've been calling that for you for the last several days. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. It's pulling back on the chart 0.84%. We can see where it ticked up for 2 days. That was Thursday and Friday, and then started sliding sideways and down on Monday and Tuesday. Where does that lead us? Well, lead us. Where do we see things last week? Well, we had a nice up week last week. Didn't have the volume to back it up, but we did have a nice up move with a nice green candle with a wick on top. We haven't gotten near that high yet this week. You can see not a lot of volume there. Not a lot of volume on the first day of the latest 2-day candle. And again, not up to average volume for quite a while, many days on the half-day chart. As we look at things, we are still bullish, but just barely. Upward 65% directional probability over the next 5 days. About a 70% back test accuracy, but again, 65%. It's a little more than a coin toss, but it's not where I like to go, where I like to be. Again, if you do see some big green candles clicking in there on the 195-minute chart, you can sure look to jump in. But again, nothing is getting me really excited about the S&P. So we'll keep an eye on things. You can see on the 2-day chart, we've got red volume. Doesn't mean negative volume. Doesn't mean there's more selling than buying. It just means that this latest candle opened lower than the prior close. When you see green candles, when you see green volume metrics, that are these rectangular boxes, and they're green, it means that we opened higher than the prior close. Red on the volume means opened lower than the prior close. All that means, I just chose when I set up the volume that I wanted that, so it would just help me see those things. Particularly when you see a lot of red down movement and your volume is red, that of course means that things are clicking along. The same in the green. And when it changes, it just gives you a little bit of a warning. So again, down 0.84%. And of course, likewise, our directional probability continued upward has slowed. We look at the NASDAQ 100 down 0.93%. That brings us to a directional probability of an upward movement all the way down to 60% with a 65% back test accuracy. That says don't bet on a lot there. We will keep an eye also on the NASDAQ 100 and just see where that's going to lead us. Do we just have a short-term pullback and then things will move back along in the prior direction? That is possible. As I'm looking at the back test accuracy with the Heikin-Ashi reversals, yeah, that setup succeeds about 65% of the time over the next 5 days. So don't hold your breath big on that one. Now let's look at where we are with 20-year U.S. government bonds. As we told you yesterday, we were 80% bearish. Things did pop up a little bit today, down in the morning, and then popped up in the afternoon, 0.33%. But that doesn't change our downward trajectory. It does lower the probability down to 70% with a 75% back test accuracy, seeing about $1 movement over the next 5+ days. We will keep an eye on 20-year U.S. government bonds. Now, where are we on gold? This is the shining bright light. Gold up 2.80%. Of course, we told you yesterday we were 85% bearish with an 85% backtest accuracy. And man, did that just continue to shine. Again, moving up quite nicely for the day. As we end the day, we are at an 80% upward probability over the next 5 days with, again, an 85% backtest accuracy. About a $4 move left is what we see there. And again, we see a buy point at 314. It's at 315.48 right now. So if you see a pullback on that and a possibility of things moving with continued green Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, we are above the 14-period RMA, and we have resistance at 318. So keep that in mind. We start hitting that, and we may very well see some resistance. If we pop below 312, that is our recent low on the 195-minute chart. That would be a potential stop loss area. Now, lastly, we will go to HODL. That is our Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin up a little bit for the day. You can see down in the morning, popping up a little in the afternoon. These are Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, so they do read differently. But as you look at them, look at the 2-day chart. We can see we have red volume there, meaning, of course, it opened lower than the prior close. We have a red down candle. We do have a green candle for the week, but not reaching the high of last week and low volume. And of course, as we look, we had things down strong on Monday, popped up a little bit on Tuesday, but where does that lead us? A 75% upward probability over the next 5 days with an 80% backtest accuracy. What do you need to then be getting into Bitcoin? You want to see a nice green candle being laid down on the 195-minute chart. And you want to see decent volume moving in that upward direction. Remember, going into the fourth week of green candles, hopefully we'll see things rise up to that prior high of last week and some volume take off. That's where we are. If you have any questions, problems, concerns, you know we always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. You appreciate what we do? Then why not show some love by becoming a Patreon member? First thing you're going to get, well, you're going to get 2 things. First thing you'll get is my book. That is 3-Wave Trading Advantage. What are the 3 waves? They are the weekly, the 2-day, and the 195-minute or half-day chart. It explains why and how we use Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, volume, trend lines, in order to make our successful trades. Everything you need to know to get started or to improve what you've been doing in the past. Also, you will get the 3-part series. This is in video format. You will get Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth way. You've wanted to learn about options, how to trade them. Well, we've got the training for you. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.